tutoring Arjuna, Bhagavan first of all clarified that what I am going to describe, Partha, is my apara prakriti. Apara iyam prakritim me prakriti ita anyam. My para prakriti you cannot understand. My para prakriti is not a subject of understanding. It is a subject of intuitive apprehension. My para prakriti is completely different than whatever you can think with your intelligence. But let me be very clear that along with my para prakriti, my apara prakriti, which is ashtadha prakriti, of which you are made up of, in which you are transacting your business, in which you are playing the role of a kshatriya, as per which you are trying to fight this war, all this is a part of apara prakriti. Now, since you heard from me that my para prakriti is different than apara prakriti, you may get a doubt in your mind that am I residing in this apara prakriti also, or it has no connection with me? Then to stress upon him how para prakriti, avyakta, and apara prakriti, vyakta, the unmanifested yet potential, and the manifested with full potentiality, the srujanatmaka vishwa, the creation, the connect between the two is never lost. To emphasize the same thing, he is now, the Lord is now guiding Partha, Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutam. I am the seed, but there is a precondition to that seed. I am Bijam of Sarva Bhutam. So Sarva Bhutam has to exist, then only I am the seed. If Sarva Bhutam is not existing, I am not the seed. Why? Because I am abhutapurva. I am prior to the manifestation of the seed itself. But now that you are in manifested world, when the manifestation has happened, then for that manifestation, I am the seed. So bijam mam, the Dvitiya Samas has come, karma has come. Bijam sarva bhutana. So the sprouting of the entire world, the srujana of the world, has essentially been from me. So I am the cause of this effect. When the cause and the effect relationship is studied, which is studied to a great depth in Indian philosophy, the Shastra, there are those who believe that the cause and effect are not related. Effect is a new phenomena keeping no relation whatsoever with the cause. It is called asakhyativad. And the one which is widely accepted is Sakhyativad, which says that the cause and the effect are closely related to each other. In fact, effect is nothing but cause in a transformed form. And if Lord has transformed itself into a dacoit, our mind starts thinking that how a dacoit can be also having the seed of Lord. A sage or a Rishi or a Muni, one can understand Lord Rama or Sant Jnaneshwar or Ramakrishna Paramahans. Yes, the Lord's bija was there in them. Agreed. This sounds better to the intellect. But how a dacoit, the murderer, the Adolf Hitler, Stalin, they also had the seed of Lord in them? Then how did the Lord behave in two different manners? One for the salvation of the world in the form of Jesus Christ or Narayana or Lord Rama, and in the most detestable manner in the form of Adolf Hitler or anybody who is a tyrant, counts. The fact is, all the bhutas, when they act, and action, karma, is the unwritten, destined thing for everybody who is born. Nahi kaschit kshanam api jatu tishtat. Not even a moment can go without doing karma. If not anything, you will breathe and that will be karma. So being bhuta, bhuta is becoming. Bhuta is becoming. Those who have become, that means those who have manifested as effect, as we all are. The entire universe is nothing else but the effect. The effect, once it is formed, then it has to get into karma. Transacting some kind of business in this creation is essential, inevitable, mandatory part on those who are created. If this is the mandatory part, then how will anybody do karma unless he has three things in him? First of all, he should have a desire to act. There are lots of mangoes lying in front of me, but I don't have desire to eat. The mangoes are virtually useless for me. I will just note them, nothing else. No turmoil, no turbulation, no thought process will happen in the buddhi. So first thing that has to come is desire. But how can desire come unless I have the knowledge that it is a mango? So the first thing is I must perceive the mango, then the desire will come. That means I must have jnana, then the ichha will come. And even if I have jnana of the mango, I have an ichha to have the mango, unless my hands go there and pick up the mango and the teeth start biting and the saliva starts flowing, that means unless there is a action done, upabhoga cannot be complete. And all karmas presuppose a vishayi or pramata, pramatru, and the vishaya. Now these are three basic things which everyone requires to do, good or bad thing. A dacoit or a thief who wants to steal some money from somebody's house, he has to have the knowledge that there is a money and money is a currency. That means he has the knowledge part of it. What usage he is making of that jnana shakti is a different thing altogether. But the very fact that he has a jnana, ability to perceive and cognize, then he has a desire. Because what is the thief without a desire to steal? And then he has an action part of it, because even if you decide, as it is, we decide so many times in the mind, we have a desire to have money from everybody to me. If that is the case, that means Lord in his apara prakriti as a form of seed exists in these three forms. And since when? Sanatanam. Sanatana meaning Lord, after manifesting, what has manifested? The world has manifested. The point at which the world manifested, that is the point when the time manifested. What is ultimately the manifestation of universe? What is it? In one single line, manifestation is nothing but coming into existence of time and space. That's all. Remove time and space, existence cannot be there. The universe cannot be there. All that is contained within the concept of universe is essentially the concept of time and space, nothing else. To exist, you require space. And to be aware of that existence, you should have awareness of the time factor, which shall then put it into past, present, and future, depending upon the evolution of the soul, as the animals do not have trikala, they have only vartamana kala. It is the developed intellect of human being that is able to decipher three indistinct divisions of the time: the past, the present, and the future, which again is essentially relative term within the creation, which is bound by only two strong factors, time and space. Lord says, I am beyond time and space because that is my para prakriti. I'm not talking about it now at all. He's saying, Arjuna, you are in apara prakriti. In that apara prakriti, in this world, you had a question whether to fight or not. So I am telling you that this apara prakriti, which is ashtada prakriti, is actually nothing else but springing from me, borrowing some potentialities of mine. If I am a bija, and that is decided not to sprout, because in pralaya sthana, pralaya kala, I don't sprout, I don't create universe. Then what happens? The seed remains dormant. But the seed doesn't, although the seed remains dormant, its potentialities of creating a tree are still compressed within the seed. In Sankhya Tattva Jnana, this seed is called Prakruti. In Advaita Tattva Jnana, this seed is called Maya, Mahamaya or Moola Maya. Why Moola Maya? The seed is not yet sprouting. It is holding the potentials. So Prakriti is not a substance, but it's in effect a potentiality. When the potentiality is channelized, according to Sankhya Tattva Jnana, the channelization, kinetization of the seed, the potential of creation is in the form of trigunas. So Prakriti's potentiality, gunas are modes of expression. If one goes through the Sankhya Darshanam of Kapil Muni, very aptly commented by Ishwar Chandra Maharaj, which is again the essence of Gaudapada's Sankhya Karika. Bijam mam sarvabhutanam, Partha, once the world has decided to come in existence, because of what? Because of the potentiality existing in whom? The Prakriti or Maya, who stays at my ashraya. I am not Prakriti, I am not Maya. They stay at my shelter. I give ashraya to Maya or Prakriti, who then act as a bij and start sprouting in the form of universe through the modes of trigunas, and it is called bhutam, becoming. So I am the being, this is becoming. Being is seed, becoming is all that we see of nama rupatmaka, the names and the shapes of the different multiplicity of creation, the diversities. However, Arjuna, you need to understand this at the moment only with the help of your intellect. If I give you a dhanushya ban and try to tell you how the arrow goes, you can use the word that avagatam, I understood. But what I am telling is not like that. This is just a contemplation and a thought, mananam. So this I cannot show you like, look, this is the city, this is how. I'm not going to show you that. I know you are going to take a doubt on me, so I have to show that when I will come to Vishwarupa Darshanam. But right now, you need to understand it with the help of your buddhi. That is why the word vidhi. Vid is to know, dhi is buddhi. Try to understand it through your buddhi, through contemplation or manana. Then, Partha, you will understand Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. Why? Because you have a question. How can dacoit and a saintly person both have Lord in them? And that is because Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, these are my three Shaktis, these are my modes. And I've implanted these modes in everybody. So the thief has a desire to steal the money, a saint has a desire to obtain the mumukshata or moksha. What happened? Both used the desire, that means both used me. Intention, destination, what they want, that is not my concern. Because first of all, they are thinking that there is a dvait in this world. There is something called money. I am different than the money. I want to enjoy the money. I am the enjoyer. That is their problem. That is why they have these different types of desire. But ab initio, as a basic concept, as a desire, it is me only, residing in everybody. नर नारी में एक बिराजे, दो दुनिया में दिखे तू, बालक होके रोवन लागे, संभलने वाला तू का तू. You say a lady and a gents and a man and sex and a child and these are your variation. From my angle, it is Ichha, Jnana, Karya. Three Shaktis. These are my Shaktis. And my Shakti is my counterpart, my other nature. If you look at my coin, on one side you will see me as a para prakriti. On other side of the coin, I am apara prakriti, where you will see Shakti as my manifestative power of me. I am nothing else but the Lord Mahashiva. Shakti is residing in me. Sometimes she decides to jump out of me and then have this dance of the world. And while dancing also she requires me. So Ardha Nari Nateshwara is my real nature. Now let me tell you, if once you understand I am the seed, in what form I have manifested. Buddhi, buddhir matam asmi. Tejah, tejasvinam aham. What is buddhi? Jnana Shakti. Ability to perceive or cognize. The very fact you are able to cognize in this world, that is why you're existing in the world. Otherwise, what is the difference between you and a sleeping giant? In deep sleep, where is your buddhi? It's not existing. Where did you go in the deep sleep? You are simply not in the bhuta form, in the sense that you are not utilizing any of your shaktis. So nothing is existing for you. It's all dark, pitch black. Only when you come to the Jagruta Avastha, immediately you say, I was sleeping, this is my bed, this is my wife, that is my child. That means Jnana Shakti Udaya has happened. That happens only at the finest apparatus given to you in your body called Buddhi, which is a part of the Antakarana. Antakarana being Shuddha Sattvatmaka, I reflect very strongly there because rest of the body is like a wall, Buddhi is like a mirror. So sunlight comes on the wall also, on the mirror also, but mirror reflects, wall doesn't. That is why Buddhi reflects. That is why I am that scintillating ray of cognition which your Buddhi utilizes, by which you are called Buddhi Matam. And you make your opinion as per your Buddhi, Buddhi Matam. And Buddhi is nothing else but Teja Tattva, Agni. Arjuna, in Gayatri Mantra, when we propitiate the Savitru, we say Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Bhargaha, effulgence. Let the effulgence of the light of yours, O Savitru, let it fill my Antakarana Buddhi, so that I have the same amount of Tej or Agni of the Buddhi, the way Devas have. In fact, that word Dev itself means Diva Dhatu, means enlightened. I want to be enlightened because I am darkened at the present. So when such enlightenment is happening anywhere, could it be just a perception of a subject object, or the even intuitive perception of the Lord? At all these places, the splendor of the Buddhi that you see, because only one who exhibits the scintillating light of the Buddhi is called splendor. It's called Pratibha. The word for splendor is Pratibha. Again, Bha there means Jnana. Pratibha. Prakarshena bhati iti. So that is what, Arjuna, I am. As far as my apara prakriti is concerned, where you all are bhutas, there I act as a seed. That is why Gurudev, in one single statement at the end of the commentary, says, in other words, through the instrument of our intellect, it is the consciousness in us that expresses itself as an intelligent individual. मेरा मुझ में कछु नहीं, जो कछु है तेरा, तेरा तुझको सौंप दूं, क्या लागे है मेरा. Kabir Maharaj says, मेरा मुझ में कछु नहीं means what? In my body, this is all Pancha Mahabhuta. It is same as that dirt lying on the side of the road. You made it an enlivening thing because of your entry in me. And where did that entry happen? Tej or Buddhi. The only difference in the level of evolution in the evolutionary philosophy of the entire world is nothing else but higher and higher achievements of planes of consciousness, or the broader and broader application of consciousness. A human being has broadest possible application of consciousness in comparison with the rest of the evolved world. That is why it is called as the epitome of consciousness expansion. We are in the last stage of a quantum jump of consciousness expansion, which is from Nara to Narayana. Once you understand, Arjuna, this, you can understand Balam Balavatam Cha Aham. Arjuna, you may have the jnana of the things. Oh, this is it, this is it, this is it. And you may have a desire for it. But unless the desire is acted upon, and when you say acted upon, you require karma indriya. When you say, I need to know about the things, you require a jnana indriya. So jnanendriyas are the mediums given for you to exhibit your jnana capacity, while karmendriyas are instruments given to you for fructifying the desire and the knowledge that you have. Even that power of yours, the virya of yours, to execute as per the desire, as per the jnanam, and action for fulfillment is also because of me. The only problem is I have no tenting of Kama and Raga. Yes, I created this world, you came in this world, but for what? You have forgotten it. Somewhere in the middle of this particular creation, you started thinking that I am different than Lord. After that, the world that you perceived is not my world. See, you had a problem in your eyes, so you started seeing everything foggy. So you had a problem with your eyes. The world is not foggy. In the evolutionary philosophy, in the evolutionary ladder, you brought your ahankar in between, the ego, and the whole look changed. The prism that came in the pure and pristine light ray that I had, you brought the prism of your ahankar and it became a rainbow outside. Now you are feeling everything colored. Then you like a color, dislike a anukula, pratikula bhavana. I am the sheer pure force required to execute anything in the manifested world out of jnana and the ichcha, but not for something or of something. Kama and rag, apraptasya praptir ichcha iti kamaha. No aprapyasya, apraptasya. Subtle difference there. Aprapsi, aprapyasya, that means unattainable. Unattainable, you will never desire. That which you feel is attainable, but it is not yet attained. Apraptasya praptir ichcha is kama. Now, after that is obtained, $1 million. Apraptasya praptir ichcha. After $1 million comes, the problem is, what if I lose it again? That part comes the rag, developing an affection for what has been obtained. साई से सब होता है, बंदे से कछु नाही, जो कही कछु किया तो तुम ही थे मन माही. Kabir Maharaj says. So whatever it comes, साधु इतना दीजिए जामे कुटुंब समाए, मैं भी ना भूखा रहूं, साधु न भूखा जाए. रूखा सूखा खाए के ठंडा पानी पियो, देख पराई चौपड़ी मत ललचायो जियो. मागृध कस्यस्विद धनम, Ishavasya Upanishad. All this is indicating that the desire, the काम, हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले, बहुत निकले मेरे अरमा, फिर भी कम निकले. So desire, which leads to an action, is the problem. Swami Ramatirtha, during his early part of sadhana, was trying to get rid of desire and reach the paravairagya, which he eventually reached. So being influenced by Sufi philosophy, because he was staying in Lahore, in his early part, he wrote a beautiful couplet, Chah chuhari chuhari, compared the desire to a rat. Chah chuhari chuhari, तू नीचों की भी नीच, जो तू न आती बीच में, मैं तो ब्रह्म था जो तू न आती बीच. I am a Brahma Swarupa, but because of that rat called desire, I am not able to meet the Brahma Swarupa. I am not able to execute or see the desire in the context of Lord. I am seeing desire in the context of human beings. And when he conquered that desire, he said, Chah miti, chinta miti, manwa be parwah, jinko kachu nahi chahiye, wahi shahenshah. The king of the kings is the one who doesn't desire anything. Kama Raga Varjita. Why is king? Because Kama Raga Varjita Balam is me. Dharma aviruddho bhuteshu kamosmi. Now, this is a very surprising statement. We say no desire, no desire, no desire, and God, Lord himself is saying, kamosmi, I am the desire. How do you reconcile this? Dharma avaruddho, agreed. As per the dharma, if the desire is there, then it is me. How Lord can be desire when he is saying there should be no desire? So should we desire or should we not desire? Is there something called good desire and a bad desire? Desire principally and philosophically is not at all right. Not at all right. But in the desire, there are desires which will increase and fatten the ego. And there are desires which will liquidate the ego. Ramakrishna Paramahansa used to give a very beautiful example. If you have a thorn in your soul and it is pricking, you are having pain, how do you remove it? You take another thorn, remove this thorn, and then throw both the thorns. So is the thorn bad or good? The one which got into the soul and is pricking is bad. But the one which was taken in the hand to remove this one is good. So same thorn can be good or bad. But at the end, both thorns are to be thrown away. In the similar manner, the desire that makes me reach to a point where I can get away with the desire. The desire to become desireless is a good desire. A beautiful statement from a Sufi saint says, "Ye tamanna hai ke azade tamanna rahu." Lord, it's my wish that I should be without the wish. Desireless desire. And what is that? Because that is the one which is going to make me reach to the Lord. That means don't desire dharma avaruddho. Then it will take you closer to the Lord. Then even that dharma avaruddho kamaha also to be taken away. Why? Because you are transcending then apara prakriti and going in para prakriti. In para prakriti, there is no question of desire. Why? When you are one, you cannot desire. For desire, there has to be something else. When you are sarva vyapi vibhu, you can't be having a desire. That is why, as long as you are in apara prakriti, Arjuna, remember dharma avaruddho, dharma aviruddha, don't desire anything. Coveting somebody else's wealth, dharma avaruddha. I should have everything, baki dunya bihar mein gayi, dharma avaruddha. वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए पीर पराई जाने रे धर्म as per the dharma. What can we do for so many people? At the end, I also need my money for myself. I cannot be helping everybody. These beggars are beggars. All the philosophy that we give is to protect our own wealth is dharma avaruddha. How do we then understand whether I am doing any desire is as per the dharma or not? Bhagavad Gita always comes to the help. Yajna tapadanam. 3 things have to be done. Yajna, in the spirit of yajna, do your job. Ask a question to yourself. Why am I working? Because on the first I get my salary. Dharma avaruddha. I work because I am a part of this entire universe, and with my work, some people are going to get benefited, and naturally as a saha yajna, I will be getting benefited. Yes, dharma, according to dharma. Dharma anunayai, not dharma aviruddha. And while doing this, sometimes I have to work very hard, and then I sit in the office just to tally the balance sheet. Sometimes it is 9 o'clock in the night, and I start cribbing. I only work very hard. No. The tapa has gone wrong. Dharma aviruddha tapa. No, no, I worked very hard and I was very happy that I could share in my company's welfare so nicely without any complaint. Dharma anuyayi. I got so much rewarded by the company. I got the money, I got the increment, I got money. Then I made one house. Then I felt that another investment is also not bad. One house in India is also good. Maybe a little bit, when you never know when you will need gold. So some gold in my house. And there was a beautiful diamond. And this is Dharma. Where is Dhanam? Remember, all the wealth that comes to us is nothing else but the post office department gives lot of money orders in the hand of postman. The postman should not come home with all the money orders. He's supposed to go and dispatch it on those addresses. Lord has given the wealth because we are the postman carriers of the wealth. So the address is always written. We are ignoring it. And then the Lord is going to take away all the money orders back to him, as well as he will rob you of the role of the postman, and you will go into the Tiryak Yoni. A jackal, a rat, a mouse. You are in the human Yoni, Manushya Naradeha, Sarvottamaha. Distribution. Dwara abito jagati stravantu. Our prayer, Chinmaya prayer, through me, to the world at large. That is why calm, and then this calm also prompts me to do something which I shouldn't be doing. Calm is because I want to appropriate everything so that I can become somebody. I want to become the rich. I want to become the famous. Yasha, Kirti, Sakta, Sampatti, Pratishtha. These 5 things are the horses of my desire. A beautifully one Sufi saint has said, मैं यूं होता तो क्या होता, मैं वो होता तो क्या होता, डुबोया मुझको मेरे होने ने, मैं कुछ भी नहीं होता तो क्या होता. The desire does all this. That is why Arjuna, Bharatarshabha, you are Bharatarshabha. You are from the land of knowledge. That land of knowledge called Bharat these days, where hardly knowledgeable people are seen, unfortunately. That pious land of Bharata, from there you have come. You are best against in that. Bharata Arshabha. That is why I am telling you, Dharma Viruddha Bhuteshu Kamaha Asmi. So if any time you do any desire, and if that desire is as per what Dharma says, Dharma means law of being. Gurudeva has described it is an absolutely well thought, smallest ever definition of religion. Law of being. Being means one who is born. All right. Then what about me? I'm also born, so I'm also doing dharma. No, we are doing or following law of becoming. Law of becoming is adharma. Law of being, dharma. Law of being is natural to you. Ask a mother when she feeds her newly born baby. Ask her, what is your desire? She said, no desire. My baby is drinking milk. What desire is there? What desire you're talking about? My only desire is to feed my baby. Feed my baby so that she can look after me in the childhood when I will grow old. No, she never thinks of it. Natural desire to feed the baby is a desire which is as per the dharma, while the desire to do something so that for so and so, becoming, being and becoming, dharma and adharma. That is why dharma, according to dharma, the desire is my own shakti. Otherwise, this will not sustain. You should feel like going. And what is your dharma? Feeding the animals, watering the plants, not plucking the leaves of the plants because it will pain them. If your nails are plucked, it will pain you. Just because you have power doesn't mean you can pluck them, because the plant also at its level has consciousness in it. Naneshwar Maharaj says that a yogi does not even raise his hand because the nails of his hand might tear the sky, the space. Look at the definition of ahimsa. which is a part of Yamaniyama. So with all this is nothing else but me. Now, do you understand, Arjuna, why I say I am the Bijam? If you look from this angle, then you will have a final statement. You will be in the world, you will enjoy the world, but you will not be doing anything disturbing in the world. दुनिया में हूं, दुनिया का तलबगार नहीं हूं. दुनिया में हूं, दुनिया का तलबगार नहीं हूं. बाजार से गुजरा हूं, खरीदार नहीं हूं. Lord has created this for Rasa Leela, and we have converted into Virasa Leela. That is the meaning of the two shlokas. Hari Om.